back in the days, what was like when your record came out? What other record was like kind of like parallel, like popping at the time?
Oh, I mean, at that time when we came with Payback Some Mother, which was like 1985, 86, but right before that, I think it was Ice-T and You Don't Quit, Dog in the Wax, 6 in the Morning. On the East, I think Make the Music with Jamal Biz, Eric B for President, EPMD. I don't even have to mention LL, Big Daddy Kane. That's where my enthusiasm came from, listening to cats like that.
I'm so smooth.
Yeah, make video, you know, this is for sure. Yeah, make video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby.
That's why you got that deep voice era, Chuck, Ice,
Yeah.
Rakim. Yeah, so there's a lot of questions to ask you, Tila. The rap part. So how did the licks come together? How did that come upon?
Well, like I said, me and J-Ro been down from the beginning. And like we were called Total Control, but everybody, once we got started with Act the Fool, J-Ro was actually my hype man. And like I said before, when we were Total Control, I used to DJ and J-Ro was my MC. So I used to DJ for him. So, but all that, once I started rapping and we did these first 2 singles with Techno Hop, everybody just started going their way. J-Ro stayed with me and was my hype man, but and Suave passed away. Pooh left and went to New York to work with the LA Posse and LL Cool J. So the first 2 singles me and Pooh did, he took with him to New York, and that's where everything just. He gave it to Marley Marl and Red Alert, and I think I was like one of the first, other than Ice-T, first MCs to get played from the West Coast out there on New York radio. And it just went crazy after that. We got to deal with Capitol, but the licks, we started thinking, what it was we tried to come up with what we was going to do with our crew. You know what I'm saying? And, people, Ice Cube had the Lynch Mob, Fat Joe and Diamond D and Lord Finesse. Them was like, we was fucking with them way back then, but they had, Fat Joe had Terror Squad. And Lord Finesse, you remember when Lord Finesse used to come out and we used to kick it and shit like that. But yeah. So we sat up and thought, what could we need to create our own crew, like the Lynch Mob and all, you know what I'm saying? So me and Pooh were sitting going back and forth. He came up with something I think called the Daily Chronics. And I just came with, because, Pooh blow weed all day, you know what I'm saying? And back then, I was mostly drinking and things like that, so I came with the Alkaholiks, and it turned out Alkaholiks. J-Ro introduced me to E Swift. E Swift was a DJ, he was doing beats and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And he became my DJ. But the licks, it still wasn't the licks. E Swift was just my DJ, J-Ro was my hype man. They bought Tash from Ohio, and they were working on a demo with A&M Records. And they were called something like Everyday Street Poets or some ESP or something. We basically just said fuck all that and went into, just went in the studio and started recording songs as the Alkaholiks. That's it. And it just blew from there. The Liquid Crew was formed.
Okay, you say you was drinking a lot. I gotta ask you, was it St. Ives or Old English?
Oh man, it was Old English. It was shit. It was Cisco. You know what I'm saying? We used to pour the Cisco in the motherfucking Old English. And hey, You wouldn't want to be around when that was going on, boy. It was like we was smoking Sherm around that motherfucker, drinking them damn Cisco's, and end up fighting at the end of the night. You know, friends just fighting in the morning, be laughing like a motherfucker, but that night, serious in the motherfucker, like, you know. But yeah, that's how it started, man.
Another alcoholic member exhibit. How did that come along?
Well, like I think once that first album, 21 and Over, came out, you know, we were forming. The name of the crew was Liquid. You know what I'm saying? And it consisted of The Far Ride, Feel the Agony. I'm gonna probably forget a lot of people, but there were extra factions like, you know, distant cousins like Dilated People, and who else? Madlib and Wild Child and all that. You know what I'm saying? So that's when it formed, and Exhibit was just another young, hungry MC that I used to peep all the time on the Wake Up Show. He was always killing on the Wake Up Show, and E. Swift actually brought him to the table and, you know, got helped secure the deal with Loud, him, and I think Broadway, if I'm not mistaken. They all came together and helped secure that deal with Loud, and it was just crew. That's all it was.
What words would you give for the up and coming cats in the game?
Hey, you gotta, you know, be dedicated to it. You know, it ain't gonna pop overnight. I don't know, but with some of your young cats, it's popping overnight with y'all, so I can't be mad. But, you know, you just gotta be dedicated, man, to stay consistent with it. You know what I'm saying? And everything ain't gonna hit. Everything ain't a hit, but just keep it coming and don't give up. You know what I'm saying? I love what the young cats is doing out here. It's keeping hip hop alive, you know.
What you up to these days?
Not a motherfucking thing.
Whose
I'm here fucking with y'all.
Whose idea was it to film Bass at Venice Beach?
Oh, wow. Oh, man. You know what? I would have to say DJ Pooh, man. I mean, from the beginning, Pooh always had the vision for visual. You know what I'm saying? He's always messed with the cameras and mostly come up with great ideas for songs and shit like that. So I had to give that credit to DJ Pooh. But I forgot the director's name, but I think me and Pooh came up with most of the ideas, you know, for that.
That was one of the best songs out at the time. How did it do in record sales?
I think it the remix, that was the remix, the video, yeah, it got a lot of play, and it catapulted the album Act a Fool to gold status. So I guess it did all right. I'm happy with it. I ain't complaining.